Welcome, my name is Emma Savage and this video is about what I made at art school this semester in 2024, my final semester at Elam School of Fine Arts. So if you want to hear about what I did and see some pics, keep watching. To start off with, I didn't really know what I was doing. I decided to do some little colour theory tests, sort of painting the same image but in different colours, see how that, changes the vibe, the mood. And then a painting for a crit. Now firstly, I should probably explain what a crit is. So throughout art school there is an activity called a crit. Each student takes a turn showing their artwork they have made, and everyone else in the class, including the teachers, discuss it. They sort of talk about what they think the artwork is supposed to be about, whether it's successful or not, what the student could do to improve, or what the student could read or research about based on what they have presented. Most of the time the student is supposed to not talk that much. They're not supposed to defend or try and explain their work to everyone else. It's sort of an opportunity for them to sort of hear what the audience would get from seeing the artwork. And so this painting is called Painting for a Crit. So I looked through my phone to try and find an image to copy, and I came across this one of my friend in 2017 at a party cleaning up a wine stain on the carpet. And this is the only photo I have of her, and she passed away 3 years ago, and so it feels like a very special image to me. So yeah. So while I was making this painting, I was thinking about crits and how I often get pretty anxious and upset at them, and I cry and I take everything really personally. That sort of seems silly and wrong compared to the fact that I get more upset about this sort of event of a crit than I express and get upset about the death of this friend. Like, it seems wrong that I've cried more about what people say about my artwork than about an actual sad thing. So I was thinking about this strangeness, and so cunningly I thought, well, if I present this painting at this crit and cry and get upset because it's a crit, maybe it could be like I could pretend that I'm actually crying about this friend. And additionally, presenting an image of a deceased loved one to my class, it could remind them of their loved ones who have passed away, or it could just sort of make them feel, uncomfortable or sad. And making my audience sort of feel this way kind of brings them to a level of uncomfortableness that I'm feeling by having to present my work. Presenting for a crit kind of feels a bit like public speaking to me, so I'm upset, maybe I make the class a bit upset too, and it makes everyone in this crit situation sort of have to endure a sort of similar uncomfortableness. So yeah, I was pretty proud of this work. However, it won't really work for a situation that isn't a crit. So it won't really work for this final Elam presentation. So I need to think of something else to do. So I then did a photo shoot with this Elam grad show in mind. Last year I did a series of photographs where I was posing sort of in the fashion of a artist in studio. What you see, this picture on the right here, is an example of that. And I did this because I was interested in how the marketing of an artist influences the value of the art that they make. So during this project last year, I was actually standing in front of other students' artwork and pretending to be a kind of artist that I'm not. But I thought that for grad show it would be more appropriate to present myself in a more authentic way and to take an artist portrait of something that actually shows the sort of artist I am. And so because I'm taking a photograph, I thought it'd be appropriate for the background to be the photography studio. I thought that a genuine sort of smiley artist portrait in the context of an exhibition would feel a bit uneasy and wrong. Yeah, revealing the intention that the artist, they want the audience to sort of think that they're credible and professional and intelligent. That's like sort of why, you know, why do artists have all these images in this particular format? So yeah, I got some feedback from my teacher about this photo shoot, and he sort of suggested that I should try and make something weirder. He kind of said that if you replicate the banality of neoliberal aesthetics in your artwork too will be banal. So if I want to use these aesthetics in some kind of way, I need my artwork to also have another layer to it, maybe some kind of beauty or poetics about it, so it's not just like, yeah, the boring tools of, you know, the institution or whatever. Does that make sense? So yeah, I was confused and unsure on what to do after that conversation, and I experimented a bit with video. So I filmed some people walking up some stairs. Not a good idea. I looked a lot into advertising videos that the university makes, and I montaged them together with like news footage that sort of criticize the university. And yeah, I suppose I was looking a lot at advertising because the Elam graduate show is still, among many things, it's designed for the university to advertise their fine arts course to prospective students and sort of show how prestigious it is, because look at all this work that these students make and come study with us and blah blah blah. I was interested in making a video where advertisements interrupt the main video, kind of like how TV and online video does that. There's like, it interrupts with ads, and I thought maybe it could feel a bit strange and out of place in an art gallery. So yeah, I made this video to get interrupted. So I created this art school character who is acting in a way that maybe an influencer would, sort of romanticizing an idea of what an art student is. And then I interjected these with ads, and the idea was that I would actually reach out to companies to get them to pay me to put these ads in. Yeah, my teacher said that this idea probably wouldn't work because, like, why would anyone want to advertise at a school grad show? So he suggested I pocket this idea for another time. I like this idea because it feels new. It feels a bit devil's advocate-y. Like, I wouldn't actually want the art gallery to be filled with ads. But artists often struggle financially and often encouraged to find little bits of revenue where they can. And the art school, the University of Auckland, is gaining a lot from this grad show. You know, what if I try and, you know, gain something? I don't know. Well, I do know, but explaining things is hard. Then I went back to the situation of a crit, but was thinking that during a grad show, maybe a video would be a way that I could transport that sort of situation into the show. So with the help of my class, I filmed myself and got them to talk to me about what they think about my artwork and sort of saying stuff that could get a good response out of me. Like, I did cry a couple of times in the video. Yeah, I tried editing this video in a couple of different ways. Like, I thought I could interject this clip of me being sad with like sad things, I don't know, some sad news or something, but then decided against that. And I also tried making it like 30 seconds long of just me, the moments where I'm upset, but it felt a bit short, so I instead just did the whole video of me sitting there in class, but taking away the parts that I'm talking. So it's just reacting. And that ended up being my final project for the semester. So I handed that in. I installed it and I handed that in. Next, the same day of the final hand-in was an art competition. And I decided to use one of these photos from that photo shoot I did earlier because it seemed very appropriate, because this particular art exhibition, the Eden Arts Art School art competition in Mount Eden, was very like, I feel like all the language around it was very like, oh, it's an opportunity for students to gain exposure, and like all these important art people are going to be there and see your work and blah blah blah. So I printed a massive shiny photograph of myself and put it on the wall and called it Exposure. I made sure to wear the same outfit at the opening event so that all these, you know, important people could recognize me. Yes. Didn't get any prizes, but I guess it's the cool thing I still did this semester. And then I also wrote a 5,000 word essay, probably the longest thing I've ever written. This essay needed to be about my art project. So in the first part, I broke down sort of what the Elam Art Graduate Show is for, like what's at stake for the institution, for the teachers, for the students, or for the audience. And then I wrote about some art history, about artists who make work that are considered institutional critiques, such as the art of Andrea Fraser and Louise Lawler. And then I wrote about the artist Felix Gonzalez Torres and how his artwork engages the audience and highlights the sort of social situation that goes on in an art museum. And I also wrote a little bit about psychology, sort of quoting Irving Goffman. He sort of writes about the intricacies of social situations, and I wrote a little bit about that. And then I also wrote a teeny bit about video and like film theory in relation to sort of what I had made. And yeah, I'm pretty proud of this piece of writing. Took a long time, but it was kind of surprisingly fun to make. And then the semester was over and it's time to party. So here is my beautiful outfit for the Elam Ball that some other art students organized for all of us. So the theme of this ball was called Glory and Gore, and I decided that I would take just the gore aspect of this theme and make myself into the big trout that they have in Gore. But, you know, I wanted to still look classy, you know, this is a formal event, and wear my suit, and opted for making a trout tie. Here are some pictures at the Elam Ball. I think they pretty accurately represent the night. Ah, yes. Chatting, dancing, loneliness. Yeah. And then, for the weekend of the 24th of November, the Elam Artists Graduate Show opened to the public. It was in our studios at school. There were approximately 100 artworks from undergrad and graduate students. My artwork was installed in the staircase landing of one of the buildings because my artwork is about the art school, about the university, and so things like the signs and the doors and the stairs sort of make sense to be with my artwork rather than it being in a very blank wall. My friends helped me edit this room sheet, which was on the wall next to my artwork. I shall read it aloud because I'm proud of it. Where is it? Emma Savage, Exhibition 2024, single channel video, 20 minutes, 37 seconds. To make an exhibition of oneself is to behave foolishly, often with an excessive outpouring of emotion. In Exhibition, Savage resists the social pressure to contain inappropriate feelings, and instead lets them be seen. The artist expresses the discomfort, anxiety, and embarrassment of sharing artwork, an activity that opens one up to the judgment of their peers. In exhibition, Savage performs sitting with her class at Elam. The instances when she talks to her peers are cut out of the video, leaving a sequence of only listening and reacting. Visually, the artwork resembles portraiture, ID photography, and talking head interviews. The Elam Graduate Show is an event organised by the University of Auckland to advertise their fine art course to prospective students. Proud and empowered students feature in the marketing campaigns for the university. The behaviour of the art student in exhibition contradicts this image. She cries and looks uncomfortable. True. My parents and friends came along to see the work. Thank you all for seeing it. It was nice. You guys didn't rip into it and make me cry like the video. And then I also built a website this semester, emmabsavage.com, that has most of the artwork I've made on it, because it seems like the right thing to do to make a website. So I did it. That's all. And then next is graduating. And yeah, so my plans now after art school, I will continue to make artwork. Probably want to do some video based stuff. I really enjoy making videos and I also enjoy watching videos, so it sort of makes sense to do that. I guess I'm also looking for a job. Sadly, I'm gonna have to work again. Something that I can have alongside my art practice, with something with reasonable hours and maybe something technical rather than creative, or administrative. I don't want to write emails. Yeah, I kind of want to move to Wellington next year because that's where my friends live. I feel like every year in Auckland, one by one, people go. So I want to move to Wellington. But I do eventually also want to move somewhere in Europe, probably in 2026, to be amongst a bigger art scene, to be in a country that values art a bit more, and yeah, to do some travelling and stuff. Get off this little island. Yeah, that is my plans. So yeah, that was everything I made this semester. Hope you enjoyed looking at all of that, and yeah. Bye.